Hi, this is Mike. I was just calling to see if that job that you offered was still available.
Yes. The security guard.
I will take anything. I will work and you will sleep.
I understand.
Welcome to Freddy Fazbear's, where fantasy and fun come to life.
You must be new security guard.
Can I help you, officer?
Have you met them yet?
Met who?
Them.
What do they want?
They want to make her like them.
Happy?
Welcome to a horrifying tale of a haunted family entertainment center where animatronics come to life at night. A desperate night guard must survive 5 nights of relentless pursuit from these menacing mechanical creatures. Unravel the mysteries behind this survival horror, where each night brings new terrors. Get ready for a spine-tingling experience. In an attempt to flee, a scared security guard is unscrewing the valve to an air duct. The scene switches between a series of monitors that display different areas within Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, a family-friendly amusement park. The guard is captured and knocked out. Upon regaining consciousness, the guard discovers that he is securely fastened to a chair. As he yells, a bear-shaped mask with jagged gears and springs is gradually lowered onto his face. Elsewhere, Mike, a mall security guard played by Josh Hutcherson, is standing in line to purchase lunch. He witnesses a man pick up a young girl and carry her away. Mike goes after the man and gives him a hard tackle and beating. Mike gets fired when it comes out that the man was only the girl's father. He meets with a career counselor played by Matthew Lillard, who offers him a lone position as a night security guard at Freddy's. The counselor explains that although Freddy's has been closed since the 1980s, the owner refuses to sell and keeps one security guard on duty to ensure that the property is not vandalized overnight. Mike won't have to interact with people, thus the counselor believes this will be a good fit for him, noting Mike's long history of being fired from jobs. Mike declines, saying he isn't available to work night shifts. When Mike gets home, his apartment door has an eviction notice posted on it. He walks in and greets Max, the babysitter played by Kat Connor Sterling. He greets Abby, his younger sister played by Piper Rubio, who is busy drawing. Mike is the only one raising Abby. That evening, Mike falls asleep behind a poster of a Nebraska forest while listening to a Natural Sounds cassette tape. Mike is with his parents and a younger sibling named Garrett in his dream. They are in the Nebraskan woods, camping. While playing, Mike loses sight of his brother, Garrett, and when he does see him, Garrett is being kidnapped. As Garrett is driven off in a stranger's vehicle, Mike is helpless. He goes to meet Aunt Jane played by Mary Stuart Masterson, and Jane's lawyer the following day. Jane is attempting to obtain custody of Abby, most likely in order to be eligible for government assistance in raising her. Since Mike appears in every picture that Abby draws, the caseworker is siding with him for the time being, suggesting that he is the focal point of Abby's universe. But Mike is informed by the caseworker that he must find employment in order to maintain custody. Mike is forced to take the night guard position at Freddy's and calls the career counselor. Mike heads to the closed pizzeria and leaves Abby in Max's care. Mike discovers and plays a vintage cassette recording that depicts Freddy's as a fun family hangout. When Mike discovers a tiny statue of a balloon boy in a locker, he is shocked. He nods out quickly and dreams of Garrett's kidnapping once more. This time, though, he dreams about a group of children dressed as animals or pirates. The kids flee as Mike asks them who they are. Mike wakes up and goes back home. Elsewhere, Jane meets with Max and Jeff, Max's brother, at a diner. As it turns out, Jane employed Max to rummage through Mike's possessions while she watched him in order to uncover information that would incriminate Mike in the custody dispute. Other than sleeping for unusually long periods of time, Max claims that Mike has nothing to conceal. After that, Jeff and Jane devise a scheme to loot the pizzeria in order to kick out Mike from the job. That night, Mike brings the Nebraska poster and tape of Nature Sounds to his job and falls asleep. Entering his dream of Garrett's abduction, he again encounters the strange children. The kids again run away, but Mike catches one of them and demands they tell him who they are and what they know. The kid scratches Mike on the arm with a pirate hook before he wakes up to the sound of someone at the door. Mike opens it to find Vanessa played by Elizabeth Lale, a police officer whose beat covers Freddy's. She goes inside and clearly knows the place, saying she went there as a kid and it used to be the happiest place on earth. Vanessa notes that Mike has a scratch on his arm, in the same place he was scratched in the dream, and bandages it. Vanessa says that Freddy's was shut down after some kids went missing there in the 1980s. She then takes Mike to the entertainment room and turns on the power. There, a number of animatronics power up. There is Freddy, a bear, Chica, a chicken, Bonnie, a purple-colored rabbit, Foxy, a pirate fox, and Mr. Cupcake, a smaller animatronic that is a talking cupcake. The animatronics sing and dance before the power goes out. As the pair leave Freddy's, Vanessa mentions that no security guard has ever lasted in the job. After the duo leave for the day, Max, Jeff, and two of their friends break in. They begin stealing valuables and messing the place up. The animatronics awaken and begin moving off the stage. One of the friends finds Chica and Mr. Cupcake. Chica throws Mr. Cupcake at him and it eats his face off. The other friend is stalked and eventually killed by Bonnie when the animatronic smashes his head repeatedly into a door. Mr. Cupcake and Foxy catch Jeff, and he's later seen dead in a room with spare parts. Max sees a child running through the pizzeria. She follows the child into a room where she sees the Freddy animatronic. The child's voice calls out from inside the animatronic and Max walks over to get a better look. Freddy then comes to life and chomps Max in half. The next day, Vanessa stops by Mike's house and meets Abby. She tells Mike about the break-in and claims he left the doors unlocked. She then hands Mike a bottle of his sleeping pills she found there and asks why he has them. Mike confides that he's still racked with guilt over Garrett's abduction. His parents died soon thereafter, leaving him to take care of Abby. He's been purposefully forcing himself to dream about the abduction in hopes that he'll remember some clue that will lead him to find the abductor. He explains that by falling asleep looking at the Nebraska poster and listening to nature sounds he saw and heard at the time of the incident, he is able to force himself to dream of the abduction. He says his dreams have never been as vivid as when he's been sleeping at the pizzeria. Mike is compelled to take Abby to Freddy's since Max is dead and not present. Mike falls asleep after putting Abby to sleep in a pillow fort, repairing the damage from the break-in, and being afraid of the Balloon Boy statue once more. Abby wakes up before Mike and begins wandering the pizzeria. Mike asks the children in his dreams whether they are the ones that were taken in the 1980s. They confirm that they are. They point to a painting they did of a rabbit in the dirt when he asks who kidnapped them. Then Mike wakes up to his sister screaming. He dashes in to discover her encircled by the animatronics. However, they are tickling Abby rather than harming her. Abby gives the animatronics hugs and handmade photos, indicating that they genuinely like her. Abby claims that the animatronics are being moved by ghosts and are inhabited by them when they come back home. The next night, Mike and Abby return to find Vanessa already there. It becomes clear that Vanessa knows the animatronics are sentient. Mike eventually finds some time to have a private talk with Vanessa. She is angry at Mike for bringing Abby to Freddy's. She then warns Mike to stop looking for Garrett's abductor and never to bring Abby back to Freddy's. Not willing to give up on his job and chance of finding out what happened to Garrett, but also unwilling to endanger Abby, Mike calls Jane and gets her to babysit while he goes to work. In his dream, one of the mysterious children finally agrees to talk to Mike. The child confirms that they are the same children that had been abducted like Garrett, and that they are now the ghosts who possess the animatronics. The child offers to let Mike have happy dreams where Garrett and Mike's parents are still alive. All they want in exchange is to play with Abby forever. Mike initially accepts the deal, but then changes his mind. The kids attack him in the dream and, when Mike awakens, he is knocked out by Foxy. Meanwhile, Freddy shows up at Mike's apartment and knocks out Jane. He asks Abby to come with him to the pizzeria to play, and she agrees. The pair get into a taxi, freaking out the taxi driver played by Corey Williams, an American YouTuber popularly known as Korkskinchin. When Mike recovers, he is strapped to a chair with the killer Freddy mask from the beginning of the film being lowered onto him. He manages to escape with the aid of Vanessa, who mysteriously appears. Vanessa explains that a man named William Afton created Freddy's and wore a yellow bunny suit to abduct and kill children, including Garrett. When police began investigating, he hid some of the children's bodies in the animatronic suits. When William found out that the children's ghosts later possessed the animatronics, he corrupted them into thinking he was their father. Mike realizes the danger Abby is in and asks Vanessa to help save her. She tearfully says she can't help, but gives Mike info on a way to sneak into Freddy's. Vanessa also says the animatronics can be incapacitated by electricity and hands him a taser. Mike enters Freddy's quietly and watches Chica leading Abby to a back room. After tossing Freddy and Bonnie, Mike follows Chica into the back room. He witnesses Chica and Mr. Cupcake attempting to program Abby into an animatronic that resembles a marionette there. Mike interrupts and tasers them, while Abby wriggles out of the suit just in time to avoid being impaled by the spring lock mechanism. The siblings embrace and Mike says he would never give up Abby. Just as they prepare to depart, the yellow bunny shows up. Foxy starts chasing Abby. Vanessa tases Foxy just before it looks like it may catch Abby. Vanessa approaches the yellow rabbit and addresses him as Dad. The career counselor is revealed when the rabbit takes off its mask. He changed his identity from William Afton after Freddy's was closed. Vanessa begs her father to cease his actions, but William coolly walks up and stabs his daughter. Mike instructs Abby to inform the animatronics of William's true identity in the meantime. Abby sketches an image of William killing them while wearing the yellow bunny suit. William's corruption is reversed by this, and the animatronics start attacking him. William gets impaled when the spring lock mechanism is triggered during the altercation. He yells to Mike that he'll be back and that he always comes back while he bleeds. William is then hauled to the rear chambers by the animatronics. Vanessa is dragged out of Freddy's by Mike and Abby. We observe that Mike and Abby's relationship has improved after a while. They pay a visit to Vanessa, who is unconscious, at the hospital. Abby, at home, regrets the fact that William is no longer paying security officers to spend the night there, thus the ghost children are genuinely alone. When Abby asks whether they may go back to Freddy's one day, Mike says that they might be able to. William, however, is still alive at Freddy's despite being imprisoned in the bunny costume. In a post-credit scene, the taxi driver is startled when he turns to the back seat, only to find the Balloon Boy statue sitting there. Please give the video a like as it helps in reaching the video to a wider audience. Thanks for diving into the mysterious world we explored today. Will there be a sequel to the movie? If yes, what will it be about? Did you spot any subtle details we missed? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more such content.